Today we're going head to head with Armstrong BBQ in the ultimate brisket battle. Can a humble Weber Kettle brisket stand up against a 1,000-gallon offset smoker masterpiece?
And along the way, the pitmasters at Armstrong BBQ will be sharing all their best brisket tips and tricks so you too can level up your own cooking.
2 cooks, 2 briskets, same mission. Make the best brisket possible. Let's get into it.
Right, Armstrong BBQs. The life cycle of the brisket, well, it starts right back on a Friday where I get a brilliant phone call from our supplier and we discuss our brisket options and how much we're looking to order. They then get delivered to our production kitchen on a Monday, and then the team up there, they start that process of the brisket on a Tuesday. We go run through the trimming process. So I like to start on the mohawk, start very low, and I come around over the end. For me, that helps expose all this hard fat that you have over here on this side of the mohawk, where typically during the cook, that may not render as well. And then I come across and sort of just shape it there. I've got all this exposed meat here, little flappy bits on the side here. It's not going to cook well, it's going to burn up. So I just like to get rid of that. And you can always use that for your sausages or your burgers there as well. Then I like to focus on my shape around the flat here. What we're looking here, it's a nice curved edge. It's going to help with the aerodynamics during the cook. So we'll just take a little bit off there. Around this side here, we have a bit of exposed meat here. Yet again, you could leave that on for a bit of protection to help protect all the nice covered meat here. But then you see that is also quite thin. So that's going to dry up. You'll get some good slices across here. But when you get to this section of the brisket here, it's not going to be too pleasant to eat. Being very picky. See you later. So all I'm looking now over this brisket, I'm feeling for hard fat. So I'm looking at the flat here, and you look towards the edge, you know, it's a little bit thick there, but I'm not entirely too worried about that. I'll take a little bit off that there, and I'm feeling the top of the flat here. This section is nice and soft fat. We've got some firm fat around here, some really firm, thick fat in there as well. So I'm gonna go through, there's a better view of it there, and just sort of shave a little bit of that off. So just using the tip of the knife, going around, coming down. So I've trimmed off the hard fat that was around there. Just take a little bit off the top to help get it started. And then on this flat here, I sort of just want to make that even. So that's the top. I wouldn't do too much more to the top. I like to stab a little bit in there, maybe a centimetre or so deep, just to help with the rendering process. Now, underneath, well, you do have a hard bit of deposit of fat here. You want to take that off, which usually if you use your thumbs, and make the cut where it's necessary. That's probably the furthest I'll go on this particular one.
Yeah, this one looks crazy. Now something like that, I'd usually take that off. Would you leave that on?
100%.
Take it off like with the shark fins? Yeah.
I've trimmed plenty of brisket, but dicing up my protein, I found myself trying to recall as many of Chris's tips as possible.
Not as pretty as yours, but yeah, we'll call it there, I think.
Once the guys are all done with the trim on a Tuesday, the guys on a Tuesday will season the required amount of brisket that we need on a Wednesday. It's really important to season the day before for the following day, have that overnight brine, try to allow enough time for that seasoning to penetrate into the meat since it's such a large piece of meat.
All right, so we're just going to season up our brisket now. So we're going to start with a little mustard binder. Just got that watered down with some apple cider vinegar. 16 mesh black pepper, pretty standard in barbecue. Going to hit it with a little bit of cooking salt. Everyone says to use a kosher salt, not too easy to get in Australia. So instead of that, we're using a Saxa cooking salt. We'll flick that over. This is going to be our service side, so really important to get really good presentation on this one. Again, we'll start off with our black pepper, just trying to get nice even coverage the whole way along. So nice and high. You can come back along the sides if we need to. We try not to spend too much time doing this because when we're doing, 16, 20, 25, 30 briskets or whatever it takes, we haven't got too much time to do this. Now we're going to hit that with our special seasoning salt, and that's got some onion powder, garlic powder, celery salt, a little bit of paprika, even coverage the whole way along. Come back if we need to across the edges. Once that's sat for about 10 minutes, you'll see that the texture's going to change, the color's going to change. It's going to have a slight tack to it, and you'll see a little bit of moisture coming out. Then we're going to throw that onto the big 1,000-gallon pit over there, and that's going to ride out for about probably about 12 hours today. So we're starting nice, low and slow at about 225 degrees for the first 4 or 5 hours. And then we'll slowly build up that temperature, get up to 275, run it for probably another 6 hours. And that's our brisket.
As for my own brisket, I kept to my backyard style here. Mustard binder, then layering on 2 of my favorite barbecue rubs on all sides. So for our cook today in the kettle, we're going to be using the snake method, which is my preferred method for any longer cook. Charcoal all around, just like a snake. Probably going to try and run it at roughly 300 to 325, a little bit hotter than I usually would cook, but we're on a bit of a time crunch, so got to make it happen.
A few moments later.
So today our brisket's been cooking from 7:30 this morning, and we're still nowhere near the stage to wrap it. We're going to keep pushing our temp at 275 Fahrenheit for a few more hours until we hit our ideal internal temperature of 175 Fahrenheit, or when we're happy with our bark presentation on it.
So we are 9.5 hours into the cook now. We're sitting at around 78 to 80 degrees, depending on where I'm probing in the brisket. I really haven't had to babysit this thing too much. Couple little spritzes here and there, rotating every 30 to 45 minutes. The bark is set, it's shrunken nicely. I think I have to wrap it up now. We're going to put a little bit more beef tallow than we usually do, just to give this thing the best chance at being nice and juicy and tender.
And we're going to get it back on the kettle till 95C.
12 seconds later.
Hello everyone, right here, this is our beautiful brisket. Got it at 175 Fahrenheit. Spritz the paper, decent amount. We'll just spray our brisket at the same time. Then we'll get our tallow, get around about a ladle. Put that down the butchers. Grab the brisket, put it on top. Grab another ladle of tallow. I'll just seep into the brisket. Then we'll just start to poach our brisket with the butchers, like this. Just move it up a bit. With the butchers, you'll grab the end of it that's closest to you. Just pull that one back a bit to us. You'll fully have it over, nice and tight. Get it underneath the brisket. You want your wrap on your brisket to be really tight, so it keeps all the tallow and all the moisture in as much as you can. Then start to fold over, push it in to make it tight. Then we fold over one more time. That is tightly wrapped brisket. Always have the point of our brisket facing the firebox and back into smoker.
Tomorrow.
So it is the next day. Both the briskets are finally here. They were rested overnight. We were looking to do this last night, but we had to take a little bit more time for the briskets to get to temperature. So yeah, here we are, keen to crack in and see what we got.
So what do you think? How did the cook go yesterday? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. Honestly, I thought like the whole experience of being in there, like I actually learnt a lot from Chris and P and Jet, looking at how you guys like wrap versus how I wrap, like being like a backyard barbecuer, the wrapping, but even like when you guys put foil on it during the cook and the spritzing is very different.
Yeah, look, there's definitely tips and tricks, which is not all shown on YouTube. Look, I think, yeah, we gave you probably a good insight into it. And there's so many different ways that you can wrap a brisket. So whether it's, some people like to do a foil boat, some people like to do a full wrap in foil.
Yeah.
They obviously like to do the butcher's paper. But I guess the proof is going to be in the pudding.
That's it.
Yeah, let's see how they came out.
There we go. Oh,
Yeah, that looks juicy.
those juices coming out really, really nicely. Pull apart, tender. That's what we want. All right, we're gonna dig in.
Give it a go.
I don't think I've ever had brisket this early in the day.
Welcome to our world.
That is incredible.
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the other end of the flat there still looks really juicy and yeah.
Yeah,
nice and moist.
usually, yeah, the flat end's gonna be that little bit drier, but yeah, it looks quite juicy.
All right.
Awesome.
So the next one.
Let's move on.
Give it a go.
Shall we go in?
Let's do it.
Oh, that's completely different.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
That's completely different. That's a night and day different. Wow. I'm getting like more beefiness, like more umami from it as well. Where that was good. Yeah, this like takes
There's
it
something
to the
on
next
back.
level.
It's on the back end,
Yeah.
isn't it? It really just lifts.
Really more umami.
Yeah, I think the rub definitely plays a big part. Probably one of the biggest lies in Texas barbecue is that it's all salt and pepper. It's pretty well known now that people who are cooking barbecue professionally are adding a couple of extra sort of flavors and additives in there.
Yeah.
Not additives, that's the wrong word. But on ours, we use something similar to what's called like a Lowry's seasoned salt over in the States. And that's got an element of celery seed, onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of chili powders in there as well.
Okay.
Tiny little bit of paprika and just a touch of sugar.
Yeah.
But obviously not too much sugar that it burns up during the cook stage.
Yeah. I wasn't coming in here looking to take the crown. I think you guys have very much retained it. It's good to see that you can still get really good results with a small backyard smoker. But yeah, I don't think anything can really replicate like what you get from using those big commercial smokers.
Yeah, no, that's true. And look, we do have a lot of people that come into our place and they see our smokehouse, and obviously they get smoker envy. But for I think for the everyday person who wants to cook really good barbecue at home, you can't go past a Weber.
Yeah.
And as much as it pains me to say it, the pellet grill at home is a really good option.
Yeah.
You can set it, you can get all your good flavors, you can dial in your temperatures, and you're going to end up with a really good result, and you haven't spent 12 hours tending to the fires all day.
Yeah, that's it. It's good enough.
It's truly good enough. So go and enjoy your day. Go and do all the things you want to do. Great barbecue. As we've tested from the Kettle. I was actually quite worried. Coming into the competition, I saw how you cooked throughout the day. I think you're an amazing cook.
I appreciate it.
And I could see the sort of the passion that went into into producing the barbecue. So yeah, well done, mate. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
And again, thanks for having me and letting me go behind the scenes and see how everything's done. It was an awesome time. Hopefully we can do some more stuff together.
So good. My pleasure.
Beautiful.
Mate. Thanks.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks
Cheers.
for watching, and I guess I'll see you next week in a new video.